Please
to have the third highest scoring average in NBA history. And now James Harden and the Rockets are the hottest team in basketball, having won 7 in a row. Tonight, the Rockets home for the Blazers. Portland comes in off of a win, but victories have been few and far between during the first month of the season. Lillard enters as the league's 4th leading scorer. Did CJ get things turned around in Saturday's come-from-behind win? He scored 32. Prior to that, he was having his least efficient season since he became a starter. Blazers, Rockets, tonight. And you'll see it right here on NBA TV. We welcome you into Studio B in Atlanta, where we've got the Hall of Famer and trouble starter, Kevin McHale, alongside the former general manager of the Atlanta Hawks, Wes Wilcox. I will be Jared Greenberg for the next few hours. 1 hour from now, we've got Rockets and Blazers. You okay? You containing yourself over there?
I am. I'm fine. I'm not causing any trouble as of now.
A man who has been causing trouble for opposing defenses. This is the league's leading scorer, James Harden. This is what his last 7 games have looked like while Houston has won each and every single one of them. He has scored over 40 points in 3 consecutive games and 5 of the last 7. So as you might imagine, tall task for tonight's opponent, the Blazers, who have been struggling mightily sans their most recent win against San Antonio. So how does Damian Lillard and Terry Stotts prepare? That was the question earlier tonight.
Well, it starts with James Harden. You know, I mean, he keeps taking it up another notch every year. So he poses unique challenges with his threes and penetration and free throws and all that he does. Westbrook's brought in a new dimension. Last year, I think they were like 24th in the league in pace. Now they're at 3rd. So not only are they a unique half-court team, but now they get out in transition.
What would you like to see from your backcourt tonight defensively?
Make it difficult for them. You know, they're going to get the threes up. They're averaging almost 48 threes a game. We got to make them miss them. If we can keep them under 40 attempts, that would be nice too.
I mean, they're both MVPs, you know, so smart enough players to figure it out. They friends, so I think that makes it easier for them to coexist. And they've also played together before, you know, obviously at different stages of their career, but all those things play a factor, you know, and I think that's why it's been working out.
What do you expect from this Houston team?
I mean, I expect them to play how they always play. You know, I don't think they changed much. I think the only difference now between this year and last year, the year before that, is just the pace. And obviously you add Russ to the equation and it's going to be a faster pace. He likes to push it and play in transition and play in space. And James, you know, prefers half court and ISOs and stuff like that. But, you know, I think they're going to have a lot of shooters out there and they're going to play in the paint and, you know, on the perimeter. There's going to be threes and at the rim. So that's what our challenge is.
If you like offense, you're going to enjoy this one tonight, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, Portland and Houston right here on NBA TV. It's our Monday night game. So through the first 13 games, we're trying to find new ways to define what James Harden has done. You have coached him. Yeah. Is he continuing to get better? Are the defenses getting worse? Have the rules adjusted to him? What have you seen for the first month of the season?
I think James started off, and his first few games were a little ratty. He started just putting his head down and getting to the line. He said, like, you know, granted, you know, in Houston, it's the 3-ball in the paint, you know, the analytics. But he kind of just started putting his head down. I thought that got him going. He really started getting fouled a lot. And even though he wasn't shooting a good percentage, he was getting fouled and getting in line. His numbers were okay. But now all of a sudden, when you see Harden shooting 45% from the field, for James, that's a good percentage. Because he takes such a boatload of threes. So what he's done is I just think he's mastered the art of getting fouled again. Yep. And I think he got away from that for a while. And I think sometimes in the playoffs what hurts James is he just gets away from getting to the line as much. But right now he's on an unbelievable roll, just scoring the ball in so many different ways. And for me, just that little bit of extra pace has really helped the Houston Rockets. They went from being one of the slower teams to one of the faster teams. They just get a couple of easy baskets. So it's James just perfecting his craft. This guy's a professional scorer. He truly is.
Yeah. Wes, what are you seeing from a guy who, you know, can look at the numbers or look at how teams are scouting him and eventually trying to execute against him? What's been different this year?
Well, the pace that everyone's talked about that, you know, Houston is playing, and a lot of that is attributed to Westbrook and how he's able to push that thing. The big question, though, is how do you try to stop this guy? And do you bring two? Do you double him? Do you double him early because he plays so much isolation, which Houston is still the #1 ISO team in the NBA. And so I start to wonder if we're going to see a little bit more of what Utah did last playoffs, and we saw Milwaukee do it earlier in the year where they play on the side, play behind. There was a lot of talk about that, a lot of criticism. But when there's nothing else you can do to stop the guy, you got to try something creative.
Well, playing behind guys, like I'm going to go back to my 7th and 8th grade coach. He said, now look at this game really is not that difficult. Okay, ready? Keep your butt between the basketball and the basket and your man, okay? That really wasn't all that hard. A lot of B's in there. You got to be able to do alliteration, But basketball, butt, basket, everything lined up. You don't go on the other side of the guy. When they did that, I was like, my poor 7th and 8th grade coach just threw his hands up and said, what the hell did I teach MChale? Gimmicks can work for a little bit, but once you get on top of them, it was just a drive and a throw, a drive and a throw. If you really want to try to contain James, you've got to try to keep from fouling him, which is very hard to do because he's driving in there. And you got to keep live enough bodies, change bodies up on him, push up on him at times, put different length, put different strength on him. He's almost an impossible guy to guard. But boy, if teams started playing on the other side of guys, when I'm going this way to the basket and you're standing here, that never works. You're always standing here with the butt basketball thing going, Okay.
So you don't like this then?
Oh, good Lord.
Thanks for the clarification.
Okay,
No.
One more time, what's the alliteration?
It's basketball, butt, basket, right in the line. He goes over, you keep your butt at the basket and keep the ball in front of you, you'll be okay.
Basketball 101, Hall of Famer. By the way, to your point, James Harden has got to the free throw line double-digit attempts every single game this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's impossible to stop. And he's leading the league in three-point attempts. He's leading the league in free throw attempts. He scores the ball in the paint. He's able to deliver it. That's why you just don't know. I mean, is it a zone? Is it a double team? But they play ISO, so then you can't double, so then you got to go run at him. Yeah.
Okay. And another thing, too, what you're going to see happens all the time. Referees call the game tighter early in the year. You'll see things start loosening up. And all of a sudden, some of these couple of these fouls, the cheapies, they won't get them. But that's the way the league's always been. They always start off a little tighter. So, but again, getting back to our premise of what we started out, that dude's a professional scorer. He puts the ball in the hole.
All right, bad news here for the Blazers tonight. Rockets, who have been banged up while winning all these games, by the way. They'll get Russell Westbrook back tonight. He rested their last game out. And Clint Capella, who's been dealing with concussion-like symptoms, will play tonight for the Houston Rockets. Okay, so that's good news for the Rockets, bad news for the Blazers, who have been struggling mightily. Other news, we're just getting breaking news in, by the way, right now about other injury updates for tonight. ESPN is reporting that Kawhi Leonard will not play. So take that off from questionable. ESPN is reporting that Kawhi Leonard will miss tonight's game against Oklahoma City. As soon as we get more information on that.
Load management?
He's been dealing with a knee injury, Kevin, they've been saying. So you can't call it load management.
Okay, I'm just checking.
So as soon as we get more information on Kawhi, but the ESPN report says he is out. We have Patrick Beverley as questionable. Kyrie Irving is going to miss his second straight with a shoulder injury for the Nets. Malcolm Brogdon, what a big loss this is for Indiana with him out with that back injury. And Andrew Wiggins dealing with personal. And there's the update here from the ESPN report that Kawhi is out. That's the big story here for tonight with the Clippers. But we've got the Blazers and Rockets live at NBA TV coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern. We come back with the plays of the week, which includes one of the great dunks we've seen. Game Time coming back. We're back on Game Time Live, getting you set for Blazers Rockets on NBA TV at 8 Eastern. But the big breaking news story, as reported by ESPN, is that Kawhi Leonard is going to miss his third straight game tonight with a left knee injury. It'll be the fifth game he misses this season. He has yet to play a game with Paul George. And when Kawhi does not play, the Clippers are 1-3. So let's bring back in Kevin McHale, Wes Wilcox, Jared Greenberg with you here, just to get some thoughts, Wes, on what maybe, we made a big deal of this load management thing, but truly it looks like there was some substance behind it, that the Clippers were trying to protect him from what might be a significant injury.
Yeah, no, there's a clear difference between load management and just injury management. And oftentimes an organization may want to protect the player. And so what is shared publicly may be, just a little more towards protecting the player than sharing all of the medical information. And I'll also say, watching him play these last couple of games, Toronto, he really struggled. We know Toronto double-teamed him. Toronto had a great game plan going up against him. But then Houston, when the Clippers played in Houston, Kawhi's last game, the team struggled. The Clippers really struggled in that game, and Kawhi just didn't look himself. So it sounds like there's a real injury here.
Yeah, I thought the Toronto game, he had 9 turnovers, but that was mostly they just ran at him and took the ball out of his hand. The next game, he just didn't have the typical Kawhi juice. He always plays at a very, very a pace that he wants to play at. He only goes as fast as he needs to go. But yeah, he didn't look quite right. And right now is the time. Early in the season, Paul George just came back. If Kawhi needs some time, give him some time now, because that team is built for next April, May, and June. That's right. What they're looking at. So give him a little bit of time right now, but I hate to see the guy get injured just because he's such a dynamic player, and he's had such bad luck. Remember 2 years ago, he didn't play at all.
Yeah, 9 games.
That's not playing at all.
Yep.
That's just
I thought I was agreeing with you.
No, that's not playing at all. 9 games out of 82 is not enough. And then last year, of course, he played 62 or 60 of the 82. So you just want to see him get healthy.
For sure.
Tonight, the Clippers have OKC, which is a game you say, okay, we should be okay without Kawhi, but it gets significantly more challenging as the week goes on. Wednesday night, the Clippers home for the Celtics, and then Friday, home for the Rockets. So we'll see and monitor and see what maybe Doc Rivers has to say prior to tonight's game. Again, Kawhi Leonard, according to ESPN, will miss his 3rd straight game with a left knee contusion. From that, we ask you to check out the top plays on NBA.com/video for your daily and weekly top plays. Now here's the top 10 plays from Week 4 in the NBA.
Trez up high, blocked by Boucher. Clippers can still restore the...
I like what you're saying.
Oh my goodness, Ja Morant. Oh my goodness, how do you do? What did we just see?
How did he do that?
Harden lob for Chandler! Exclamation point!
Seven. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes, oh, what a great step! And then he hammers it home! Broke his ankles and pounds it for 2. What a play!
And how about the finish?
Morant down the lane, lays it up, it is! Holy cow! With 0.7 of a second, Ja Morant!
Jokic putting it on the deck against Towns. Wild shot by Jokic. Oh, are you kidding? Wow.
2.4.
Wow. Jokic throwing up a wild shot.
He threw that between Rubio's legs. Little nutmeg and 5 quick points. And looking to make it 6 with the and 1. Wow. That's all I got to say is wow. They give it to Washington. Graham goes backdoor. Graham puts up a 3. Oh, it's good. It's good. And Charlotte takes the lead with 2.1 remaining.
You shoot 38% from downtown. Here comes LBJ! Look out!
Oh, the crowd on their feet. That's what they came to see. If nothing else happens, they're happy now.
Monk fires. Oh! It's good. It's official. Malik Monk, how do you do?
From the top 10 plays of last week to a man very capable of starting off this week with a top play. Damian Lillard and the Blazers looking to win consecutive games for just the 2nd time this season. You'll see Portland at Houston coming up at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on NBA TV.